Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about how to keep your lyric writing more interesting, not only for your listeners but for you yourself. When you're writing a lot of songs, it's nice to keep things fresh. So let's dive right in. So the reason I decided to start making some lyric tip videos and songwriting tip videos is because I started a challenge very recently. 26 songs in 52 weeks is what I'm attempting to do. I'm going to try and do more if I can. If I can do one a week, then I will. But I thought 26 songs was probably a bit more realistic. But what I want to do is keep those songs interesting. I don't just want to keep pumping out generic crap. I want the songs to have subject matter, and I also want the songs to, have some difference to them rather than just sounding very generic. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I'm going to go about doing that. First of all, the first idea that I had was I'm going to write your songs. So I put it out on Facebook just the other day that I want to write your songs. Tell me something about what happened in your life. Tell me the beginning, the middle, the end, or if it's still ongoing. Was there a resolution? Is it a happy ending? Is it a sad ending? Whatever it might be, tell me your story, and I'm going to take that away and try and write a song to it. And I just want to show you two examples of the first two songs that I've written as part of this challenge, and what I mean by keeping your lyrics interesting. So I'm just going to take you over to Lyric Studio. Now, if anybody's been on my channel before and you've watched any of my old videos, you'll know that I use Lyric Studio. I don't use the AI, as they call it. It's not really. I don't use the AI element of it, but I will show you what I use it for. The first thing is I'm in multiple bands, and I just find it easier to store all of my songs here. So this band, I've got 15 songs. If I ever need to revisit the lyrics, I can. This is my other band. We got 8 songs at the moment, and then this is my new solo stuff, and this is the first 2 songs that I've put out recently as part of this challenge. So the first one I want to talk you through is through the Fire in the Dark. So I was talking to someone when I was initially setting out this challenge, and I said, I need people's stories of their life. I don't want to just keep writing about mine all the time. I need to challenge myself. And he said, you should write one about our relationship. He says, we've been together for like 35 years, nearly 40 years. And even though things have been really tough at times, we always keep coming back together. And we started chatting a little bit more, and we were sort of joking and said, like, God, sometimes it's like a battlefield. It's like we're at war with each other. But then the next minute, we always seem to find a way of working through it and everything's good. And I loved that idea of war and battlefield and love being the same thing. So what I do is this thing called word association. I literally can do it on a piece of paper. You can do it on some tools online, but simply do this. Get yourself a pen and write down words that associate with war. He said the word war, so we've got war. Then you've got battlefield, as I mentioned. And then soldier, for example, and write down as many words as you can on this list, and like get a good long list together if you can. And I sometimes start with the chorus, but in this case, actually, I started with the verse, and I wanted to think of things that sounded bad. Like things that we wouldn't like. So as well as the war thing, I've got things like storms, rain, bad weather, all those sorts of things. So another way of saying we've had good times and we've had bad times would be to say we've weathered storms, but we've also danced in the rain. So we've had stormy times, but we always find a way to dance in the rain. In other words, meaning even though things get bad, we always find laughter at the end of it. So it's just a different way of saying it. Through every high and every pain, from the first kiss to the last goodbye, we've seen it all side by side. Then we talk about more specifics. So you could have late night talking, which could turn into an early morning fight, which I think of most relationships, everybody's been there. So you want to try and make the song relatable. But we always find our way back to the light. In other words, obviously, we always get back and sort things out. Through broken dreams and shattered hearts. So throughout their lifetimes, they've had lots of dreams and hobbies and things they wanted to pursue, but never actually managed to do it. Nothing's ever torn them apart. And that's why we went then into the chorus where it says, they say that love is like a battlefield. And then I was thinking, okay, but what, if love is a battlefield, what are they? And then that's when I had the idea of them being soldiers. So it's like, they say love's a battlefield, but we're soldiers at heart. And soldier was one of the words that I fit in here. Fight, soldiers, they will fight. So that's another word associated with soldier. So you do word association with other words in this list. So you look at battle, you know, what words can come off battle, what can come off war, what words associate with soldier. Well, soldiers, they fight. You know, soldiers are in the trenches. Soldiers are, and you keep listing these different words. And that then should help you come up with new ideas and not ever have writer's block. The other tip that I have in regards to this is everywhere I go, you have your mobile phone with you, and I will write notes in my notes on my phone every time someone says something to me. And obviously I want to keep those notes and make a list of them and sort of number them 1 to 26, ideally, the best ones that I've got. And then I'll start writing songs from those notes. So make sure that you're always making notes. Every time you have a conversation with someone, every time you see people, things like that, you want to make sure that you're writing them down so you don't suffer that writer's block. But there's lots of ways I could have said, we always argue, but then we always find love again. But instead of saying that love is a battlefield and we're soldiers at heart, so we're both willing to fight, to me seems far more interesting than literally just saying what it means. And that's what I mean about the word association. I think it's a really cool way of writing songs. I mean, I learned that from another songwriter that I watched a documentary years and years ago. And I also watched Teddy Redder, his YouTube videos that he's put out, and he does something similar. If you're new to songwriting, Lyric Studio is great as well because it will suggest things to you. So late nights talking and early morning fights, if we click on that, it'll come up with rhymes with fights and you hit new suggestions and it will give some ideas. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the time it throws out utter rubbish. But all I want to do is hold you close tonight. See, that to me is one of the cliche type of lines that I was trying to avoid. But if you're new to songwriting, and that might fit the song that you are writing, so, you know, it could spark an idea. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's also got rhyming tools. Now, this I really like. And the thesaurus, so you put your words in here and then it'll give you some alternatives. It's really great for finding words that mean the same thing that maybe don't get used quite as often. I've just wrote a song and I'm putting it out for release on the 23rd. This one I wrote off the back of speaking to someone about their life. They wanted to stay anonymous, but they said they were coming out of a toxic relationship and they kept ending up back in it. And no matter what they did, they just couldn't seem to give it up. And they also said that at the time they were probably drinking and smoking and things a little bit too much. But they actually found both of those things to be very similar in terms of the addiction and keep going back to them. So again, playing with that word association that I just spoke about. One of the things that I did here was, okay, she talked about cigarettes, she talked about drink, she talked about this relationship. So what I wanted to do is write a song about a toxic relationship, but make it sound like that person is the addictive bad substance. So I've kind of merged the two together. So with this one, I tried to take the cigarette and I was thinking, well, Word association, let's write down cigarette. Then cigarette, you light them, so they're on fire, they're lit, they smoke, they have poison in them. They can cause pain, so can the relationship. You get smoke, there's a bad flavour to them. So I started working around all those word associations. I wrote them all down. I actually do it on my computer, but if you do it on a piece of paper, write them all down, and then when you're struggling for something, you can come back to it and go, okay, I really want to fit that in somewhere. That I really like the idea of mentioning that. And again, it just sparks these ideas. So with this one, we got, she's a wildfire burning in my soul, like a cigarette. She's taking her toll. So I know she's bad. She's burning. It's burning inside of me, and she's starting to take a toll now, like it does on your body. Her love is a poison that I can't resist. So the cigarette is poison, the person is poison, but you keep coming back to it. You keep smoking another one. I'm addicted to the pain. I'll cease to exist. If I carry on like this, I won't be around for much longer, is what that is saying. I inhale her lies like a smoke in the night. Heart aches the flavour, but it feels so right. So again, trying to sort of say that, this is an addiction. She's a habit I can't break. She's a dangerous spell. A love like hers is bad for my health. So it's sort of gelling the two subjects together into one. And I find songwriting in this way far more interesting. Like, I really had fun, even though it's quite a sad song. I had fun writing this because the word association stuff is like really cool. Obviously, I write with a sort of a country tilt to it. So obviously I mentioned whiskey instead of the drink that we're talking about, which was vodka. It doesn't sit with my kind of songs. And also I did mention she's like a neon sign in the pouring rain. Doesn't look quite attractive in the rain. Her fading glow brings nothing but pain. So there's everything about this person now is starting to fade. Like a whiskey soaked memory is etched in my mind. The taste sweet of love is hard to find. So it's like you want to believe that that's going to be there, but it's just not. And again, it's a really simple chorus, but yeah, she's bad for my health, like a pack a day. So she's bad for my health, just like a pack a day of smokes is bad for my health. Her touch is toxic, but I let her stay. In the ashes, obviously we got ashes from the cigarette. In the ashes of this love, I find myself drowning in the smoke. Yeah, she's bad for my health. Just sort of repeating certain parts at times can create little hooks that people will sort of linger and stick onto. One of my favourite singers of all time, this man here tattooed on my arm, Prince, very much a storyteller with his songs. One of the reasons why I love his music so much. And I like to tell stories with songs where possible. And one of the reasons why I'm enjoying writing other people's life stories in songs, to be frank. But yeah, so that's just my little tip. Give it a try. Try it out. It might be something different. I'm going to be doing loads more of these. It's a simple tip, and you've probably heard people say it before. But it's something that I don't think actually, I think people do it in their heads, but they don't write them down. And I find that when I write them down, it works so much better because I can keep coming back to that list and keep finding words. And if I can't find a word, maybe I need to find another word that means the same thing. That's when I can use something like Lyric Studio, come in here, come to the thesaurus, come to the rhymes section, type in what I want, and then it will give me something different. So we could look up smoking as a word, smoker, cigarette, tobacco, fumigation, fume, addiction, fumer, burning, dope, consumption. So it's going to give me a load of words that are associated with cigarettes. So this is a great tool. If you can't think of them yourself, then this is a great tool to help you come up with some ideas for your word association in the first place. So give it a try. Let me know if you think this video has been useful and whether you would like me to make more videos like this. Just a little bit of context. Because I can already see the comment section saying, why should we listen to you? You don't have to, obviously, but I have had a lot of songs and records. played on national radio such as BBC, Kerrang, Planet Rock. I've been on major playlists for those radio stations, as well as radio stations across the world, Australia, New Zealand, America. I write songs for other artists as well, and I've got a few songs at the moment that are doing quite well. So I'm not a Grammy award-winning songwriter, but I do consistently get songs to radio. So, and I have a few songs that are going to be on some TV-based stuff very soon as well, which I can let you know about on the channel as soon as it goes live. Give it a try. It's simple stuff. It's trial and error. You have to just keep doing it to get good at it. Give the video a thumbs up if you like, and I'll be back with more tip videos very soon. And I've got some conversations lined up with some other songwriters, which I think you're really going to enjoy. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you to everyone that's been subscribing recently. My channel has been sort of flying upwards in recent days and weeks. So thank you very much for that, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you.